What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Wait for a few of you to get in here. Oh, I better start talking. What's up? Hey, so this is kind of an impromptu live stream, just me and my sexy self. So we have recently switched to Libsyn for our podcast hosting. And what does that mean for you guys? Well, for most of you on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Stitcher or Castbox, it doesn't mean anything. Your feed's automatically updated to Libsyn, and you're all good to go. But for the people that use Podbean, that did not happen. So my mistake is I should have sent y'all a message, just a quick 1-minute message on Podbean, says we were switching to Libsyn because that feed is no longer working. Although John from North Carolina says he was able to get the latest podcast today on Podbean. I don't know how. So that being said, please download the podcast anywhere but Podbean. The weird thing about Libsyn, though, is it doesn't have an actual player. So that was one nice thing about Podbean. So the reason we switched from Podbean to Libsyn is the stats. The stats that Podbean has is lacking in regards to the stat department. So Libsyn gives us the top 200 markets in the country, and that helps us for advertisers to give numbers to them, to let them know, we have this many downloads in this many areas. So that being said, please, if you are on Podbean, please download, get it through iTunes or Spotify or Stitcher or Google Podcasts. I'm trying to think, Castbox. I know most of you get it on Apple, so that's fine. I just felt like a douche canoe that I forgot about our Podbean subscribers that actually listen to the podcast on Podbean. So please get it somewhere else. Podbean does not, or Libsyn does not have a player. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the whole 9 yards. I did put a couple of links. You can listen to the podcast on the player from Libsyn, but they don't actually have an app. So iTunes and Spotify are probably the most popular. But yeah, check those out. Again, I apologize for the people on Podbean that I didn't let you know. But, this isn't my full-time job. I wish it was, but it's not. So I messed up. But I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a fantastic evening. I hope you had an amazing weekend making money last weekend. I know the GR folks killed it. Absolutely killed it. Almost as close as New Year's Eve. So I wish Jesper was going to be here next week to talk about it, but we'll have to wait a couple of weeks for that. He is off next week. So, all right, guys, I'm going to end this video. I'm sure you're sick of hearing me talking about Podbean and Libsyn. So, again, no more Podbean. Please get it somewhere else. Let me know if you have any trouble. Have a great night.